Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your 2023 Bailey Phoenix 650. So, starting off at the front, got your hitch head with silver lever. You have to have your silver lever up to be able to push the hitch head on, and when the hitch head is on, the button will expose a green ring. We'll also show you that on collection. You have your breakaway cable just here, jockey wheel, 13-pin electric, so if your caravan does only have a 7-pin adaptation, make sure you bring yourself a adapter. And then you have your handbrake just here, which works on a button system. You have to press the button down to be able to push it down. Now, we are using our test equipment today. First thing I want to show you is either side you have inserts for your legs, so opposing this and then 2 inserts at the back. This is for your legs. Now your legs, the caravan comes with a leg winder to put them up and down. You can also get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill to just speed up the process. Don't attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs. They're only used for stabilisation. Coming along this side, door side, you have this here, which is your insert for your mains lead. Mains lead just pushes in. You'll have to put the cap up a little bit just so it can slot into that top part, and it just pushes in, and that will get power into the caravan. Coming around to the other side, first up, this here is your insert for your water pump. So your water pump is from Whale. It pushes into this part here, and then you can push down this top part to lock it into place. I'll show you the water pump inside the caravan. The main thing to note though is that you have a strainer which sits at the bottom of the pump. You have to ensure that sits at the bottom of your aquaroll full of clean drinking water. Then here you have your flue. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure the top is nice and clean. Next to it, you've got your gas bottle locker. So you've got 2 points here for your gas bottles, and then this is a propane bottle with an in-date gas hose. You connect the gas hose either side onto that regulator there. You can hand tighten that to an extent, and then you will need a spanner just to finish it off. Make sure that your gas hose is in date as well, and then twist the bottle in the positive or open direction, and that will begin to feed gas through into the caravan. Next to the axle, you have these 2 inserts here, and that is where your wastewater from both your shower and your sink will come from. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to feed into a waste master, and then just take it to the emptying point on site. Lastly, at the end here, we have these 2 points, and these are for your toilet capacity. This top one is where you're feeding the water for the flush capacity. So it can hold around 10 litres inside the tank. Get yourself something like a watering can just to make it that touch easier. And then I would recommend some pink chemical as well if you would like it to smell a bit nicer. It acts as a bleach without being corrosive. And that operates just like that using your key. Then below it, you have your cassette toilet. So you have to make sure your cassette toilet is shut, which I'll show you later on in the video on the toilet part to be able to pull this out. To pull this out, you press up on this orange handle and pull it out just like so. This handle here can also extend out if you push it up a little bit more into a bit of a suitcase, so you can drag it along when you get to site. When you do get to the emptying point, twist open that head. You need to tilt and at the same time continually pressing that vent button. Then what I'd recommend afterwards is slide that open, feed in some fresh water, give it a bit of a shake, give it a bit of a swell out, and again tilt and vent. Then you may have seen me take off this cap here. This cap has measurements in both imperial and metric. That is for your blue chemical. Your blue chemical goes inside here as much as you need, back onto the hitch head, twist the head back to the central position, and then just push it back just like so, so that this orange head sits behind these white teeth. Now you don't want to travel with either of these too full, so just next to me I have a little bung here. You open that up and that drains out any remaining water from this flush tank. And that's everything you need to know for outside. And then underneath the side dinette, you have both your brain box for your motor mover, and you also have your trips and fuses. All your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. And that is underneath the side dinette. Then underneath the right hand side seat, you have this here. This first is your boiler. Don't have to do anything with this unless you have to do hard resets or anything like that, but I'm not going to show you that in the video. Then just here you have your drain off valve. So we're going to leave it in the vertical position. Vertical position means it's draining out any water. Having it in the horizontal position is what you'll need to allow the water to flow through when you have it all plugged in and your water pump on. Have it up permanently in that vertical position between November to March to make sure that no pipes burst or freeze from the colder conditions. Also, just give off the caravan a little drain every time you leave site. Then this is your main control board. This is what you'll need to essentially set up the caravan. Going through first, you press this button in, and this will give a representation of the amount of voltage coming into the caravan. You can then see below, you have both the main on and off switch, so press that in and it will allow the caravan to actually operate. The button below is for your lights. The one next to it, press that in, go outside, is for your awning light. And then the button at the top is for your water pump. Come over to your sink here. So I'm not going to press in the water pump button today as we're not running any water through. However, this is your water pump. You have an insert here, which is where you'll push into the aforementioned part outside, and then you can push down the clip to lock it into place. You have a plastic cap to go over the top of the Akrol to make sure no nastiness gets inside. And then you also have a strainer which sits at the bottom of the barrel to make sure that the maximum potential of water comes through and that no air gets gassed through. So you need to ensure that that sits at the bottom of the barrel. Now for the water pump, once you've pressed it in and make sure that your switch valve's in the correct position, you'll come over to your taps and run it on both hot and cold and run it for around about 30 seconds. What you're looking for is a nice steady continuous stream. If there is any coughing or spluttering, go outside and ensure that the strainer is sat at the bottom position. It may be a case you might have to get some white PVC tubing just to make sure it's nice and straight to sit at the bottom. But that is essentially a run through for this. On, lights, awning light, water pump. Then just here we have your Truma blown air. So this is for your heating and hot water. You have a dial here, which is also a button and then a back button. Press in on the dial and it will come up to this screen. This is like your home screen essentially. You have 4 different settings on the top and 3 different at the bottom. The first one, which is currently flashing up, is the caravan with the thermometer in it, and that is for internal temperature that you desire. You twist the dial to whatever temperature you desire, goes up to a maximum of 30, and then to select the temperature, you press in on the dial, which if you see here, I press in, and it will stay on 15. It will get to that temperature. It's not an instant thing, but it just takes a while to get to the temperature. So put that to off for now. Next up, you've got the thermometer in the water. This is for your hot water setting, so Eco, Hot or Boost. Eco will get the temperature of the water to 40 degrees. Hot will get the temperature to 60 degrees, and Boost will boost the temperature to 60 degrees for 15 minutes and then drop it back down to the Eco setting. So it's ideal if you're wanting to use the shower or just have a quick burst of hot water. It's not a continuous thing, but it's just good for 15 minutes. Then you have your energy source. So you can either use either strictly gas, strictly mains, or a mixture of both. So first up, you've got gas. Next, you've got mix 1, which is a mixture of gas and 1 kilowatt of electric. Mix 2, which is a mixture of gas and 2 kilowatt. Electric 1, which is strictly electric with 1 kilowatt. Or electric 2, which you might have guessed, electric with 2 kilowatts. Again, pressing on the dial to select what you need. Then you have fan speed. So for your fan speed, you can either have it off or vent. So what vent allows you to do is circulate the air across the caravan. Next up, you've got timers. So you first set the time on this system with the bit that I'm about to show you, and then you can set when you'd like your heating and hot water to come on, because you may be away from the caravan for a set period of time and don't want to be wasting your gas and electric. What allows you to do is first set a time that you'd like it to come on, and then a time you'd like it to come off. So you'd first input the date for start, 9, and then press it in, and then put in the time in minutes, and then put in the time you'd like it to come off. Then you've got your time, so it's currently not 22 minutes past midnight, so you just set it to the correct time. And then you've got some additional settings here, such as temperature, brightness, 12 or 24-hour clock, language, or reset. Not going to show you them today. If it is something that you'd like to have a look at in your spare time, feel free to have a look inside your handbooks. Then to turn this off, you press in on the dial, press and hold, and it will turn itself off. Now that screen will go automatically to the green when it's not actively being used, which you may have seen in the video. That is so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. Just here you have your toilet capacity. What I was alluding to previously in the video was this handle at the bottom. But first, I'm just going to run through. You have this here, which is for your flush button. If it's a case the cassette toilet is full, a red light will come on showing you to empty it. You press in this button here, and you can hear that motor. That motor is what would push out any water inside the flush tank. And to empty it, you press away with the handle, and that opens up the cassette toilet. Then pull it back towards you, because you won't be able to remove the cassette toilet unless it's pulled back towards you. Bog simple. Then we have your gas cooker operation here. Now this works standard to any sort of gas cooker that you may have had in the past. It's a case of pressing in the dial, twisting it to the side, and that will begin to feed the gas through. At the same time, you have an igniter this side, which you have to press in. Now, what you'll have to do, press in, twist to the side, and do that, and this is what it looks like when they're lit. And you can see here, nice blue, clean, continuous flames. Switch it back to the central position, and that switches them off. Again for the grill, and you can see here, both sides nice and lit. And finally, for the oven, and you can see here as well, the oven nice and lit. Only other real thing to note, don't put down this glass sheet until all of these burners are cold to the touch, and you don't want to travel with the glass sheet up. Then lastly, we have your fridge operation here. So to turn it on, you press and hold on this button just here. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory. You have the choices of 4 different options to power it. So you can either use your 13-pin electric when you're connected to your car, your gas, your mains, or auto. Auto will switch it to what the fridge believes is the best power source to use. To change that mode, you press up on here, press in again, goes to auto, flashes to mains. Go over 2 times to gas, it will begin to gradually tick in, and then once it's finished ticking, it will be lit on gas. I'm not going to show you on the car battery because it will just flash up and beep at you, and that will show you that there's a hazard. Then you can change the amount of power coming into the fridge using this button here, so you can either have 1 to 5. 5 being the most powerful, and that will chill it the quickest. So simple as that to use, and then to turn it off, you press and hold on this button again, and that will turn it off.